Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, leave the noise of the city, the endless notifications, and the weight of your daily routine far behind. We are about to embark on a journey to the very edge of our planetary neighborhood. Imagine the vast, silent dark of space. It is a place that often seems frightening, a boundless void that makes us feel incredibly small. But what if I told you that this terrifying emptiness holds the most profound peace? Today we are traveling to Neptune. It is known as the most terrifying giant in the solar system, a realm of freezing darkness and unimaginable storms. Yet, within this chaos, there is a hypnotic, terrifying beauty. You do not need to be an astronaut to experience this. You just need to listen. Let the gravity of Earth fade away, and let us drift outward toward the deep, serene blue. Long before human eyes ever saw it, Neptune was a ghost. It is the only planet in our solar system found not by looking up, but by looking down at a piece of paper. In the mid-19th century, astronomers noticed something strange. Uranus, the seventh planet, was being pulled off its path. It was as if an invisible hand was tugging at it in the dark. A French mathematician named Urbain Le Verrier trusted the numbers. He calculated exactly where this hidden giant must be hiding. In 1846, the telescope was pointed at that exact spot in the sky, and there it was, a tiny, pale blue dot. Neptune, orbiting nearly 3 billion miles away from the Sun. It takes 164 Earth years to complete a single orbit. It is an ice giant, a world of extremes, locked in a perpetual twilight. To understand Neptune is to understand the raw, untamed power of the early universe. We are now crossing the orbit of Uranus, leaving the inner solar system far behind. Ahead of us lies a staggering expanse of nothingness. As we drift through this silent ocean of space, a faint blue sapphire slowly materializes in the distance. This is Neptune. From this far away, it looks perfectly calm, almost peaceful. Picture a smooth glass marble, painted in the deepest hues of cobalt and azure. It is a sight that instantly soothes the tired mind. But do not let this serene facade fool you. It is a common myth that Neptune's beautiful blue color means it is a world covered in vast, peaceful oceans of water, much like Earth. But as we draw closer, we must shatter this illusion. There is no surface here, no gentle waves lapping against a sandy shore. The blue we see is a massive, incredibly deep atmosphere. It is a toxic ocean of gas, hiding unimaginable violence beneath its tranquil color. Our descent is about to begin. We pass through the invisible boundary of Neptune's exosphere. The absolute silence of the cosmic void starts to give way to a low, ominous rumble. The temperature plunges to a staggering -360 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a cold so profound that it slows down the very atoms of your being. Imagine standing in the most brutal blizzard on Earth, and then multiply that cold by 100. Yet, in this freezing twilight, there is a strange, majestic rhythm. As we sink deeper into the upper atmosphere, the true terror of Neptune reveals itself. The winds here do not just blow, they scream. We are entering a domain where wind speeds reach up to 1,500 miles per hour. That is 1.5 times the speed of sound. Picture an advanced fighter jet tearing through the sky at top speed. Neptune's winds outpace it effortlessly. In this chaotic ballet of gases, the atmosphere is a relentless, roaring engine. Through the swirling blue clouds, a massive dark shadow appears. This was once known as the Great Dark Spot. Many people used to believe this spot was a solid feature, perhaps an island or a landmass peeking through the clouds. We can now debunk that myth. It was an anticyclonic storm so large it could swallow the entire Earth whole. Imagine a hurricane the size of our planet, churning silently in the deep blue, appearing and disappearing like a ghost over the decades. But what gives Neptune its stunning yet deceptive color? As we float through these upper layers, we are surrounded by hydrogen and helium, the same ancient gases that built the Sun. But swirling among them is methane. Methane is the invisible artist of Neptune. Picture a grand filter that catches all the warm, red light from the distant Sun, swallowing it completely and reflecting only the cool, hypnotic blue back into the void. It is a masterpiece of chemistry. The deeper we fall, the darker it becomes. The faint light of the sun, which looks just like an unusually bright star from this distance, struggles to pierce the dense methane clouds. We are descending into a realm of eternal twilight. Imagine plunging into the Marianas Trench, watching the light slowly fade into absolute pitch blackness. The pressure begins to build around us. It is a heavy, crushing embrace from the planet itself. Another storm races past us. Astronomers call it the scooter. It is a brilliant white cloud of methane ice crystals zipping around the planet at breakneck speeds. Visualize a glowing, ghostly galleon sailing through a stormy, dark sea. The scooter moves much faster than the darker storms, creating a mesmerizing contrast. It is a reminder that even in the darkest, coldest places of the universe, there is constant, dynamic motion. As we continue to sink thousands of miles beneath the cloud tops, the pressure becomes unimaginable. If you were unprotected here, the weight of the atmosphere would crush a nuclear submarine like an empty aluminum can. But in our minds we are safe. We can simply observe. The gases around us are being squeezed so tightly that they no longer act like gases. They blur the line between liquid and gas, becoming a strange, supercritical fluid. Here, in this crushing, pitch-black depth, a miracle of physics occurs. The immense pressure rips the methane molecules apart. The carbon atoms are squeezed together so tightly that they crystallize. Imagine the most brilliant, flawless diamonds slowly forming in the darkness. They grow heavier, and then they begin to fall. We are witnessing diamond rain, millions of sparkling gems slowly sinking through a dense, dark fluid toward the planet's core. It is a breathtaking thought. People often think of diamonds as rare treasures dug from solid rock, but here on Neptune they are the weather. Imagine standing beneath a slow-motion shower of glittering jewels, reflecting the faint flashes of internal lightning. It proves that what is rare and precious on Earth is just another Tuesday in the extreme environments of the cosmos. Our journey takes us even further down, following the falling diamonds. We now enter the mantle of Neptune. It is time to debunk another myth. Because Neptune is called an ice giant, you might picture a world made of solid frozen glaciers. In reality, the mantle is a super-hot, dense and highly conductive fluid made of water, ammonia, and methane. It is often called a slush, but it is incredibly hot, reaching temperatures of thousands of degrees. Picture a glowing, boiling ocean of heavy liquid, hidden beneath thousands of miles of gas. This boiling, conductive ocean is the heart of Neptune's magnetic field. As the planet rotates, this immense fluid layer churns, generating intense electrical currents. Imagine massive, unseen rivers of electricity flowing through the dark. This creates a magnetic field that is incredibly powerful and, bizarrely, deeply flawed. It is entirely lopsided. The magnetic axis is tilted by 47 degrees, completely out of sync with the planet's rotation. If Earth's magnetic field were like Neptune's, your compass would point to a random spot halfway to the equator instead of the North Pole. It is beautifully chaotic. As we navigate through this invisible, twisted magnetic web, we finally approach the center of the giant. Beneath the churning mantle lies the core. It is a solid sphere of rock and iron, roughly the size of Earth, locked in a state of immense pressure and heat. This rocky core is a mystery in itself. Neptune radiates more than twice the energy it receives from the sun. It is generating its own heat from deep within. Picture a glowing ember buried inside a mountain of ice. While its twin planet, Uranus, is relatively cold and dead inside, Neptune's heart still beats fiercely. It is this internal heat that drives the supersonic winds and massive storms thousands of miles above us. Our descent is complete. We have touched the solid heart of the terrifying giant. Now let us slowly rise back up. Let the heavy, crushing layers of supercritical fluid and diamond rain wash away as we float upwards. We pass back through the roaring winds, the freezing clouds, and out into the quiet vacuum of space. But our journey is not over. As we turn around to look at the planet, we notice something faint, almost invisible. There is a widespread myth that Saturn is the only planet in our solar system with rings. But as we adjust our cosmic vision, Neptune's dark, ghostly rings come into focus. They are not made of brilliant, reflective ice like Saturn's. They are made of dark dust and organic compounds, soot-like materials baked by cosmic radiation. Imagine a delicate, charcoal-colored halo surrounding the bright blue sphere, visible only when backlit by the sun. The outermost ring, called the Adam's ring, holds a peculiar secret. It is not uniform. The dust is clumped together into distinct arcs. Given the poetic names courage, liberté, égalité, and fraternité, imagine a necklace where the beads are unevenly spaced, defying the laws of gravity that suggest they should spread out evenly. These arcs are kept in place by the gravitational whispers of a tiny, unseen moon dancing nearby. Speaking of moons, Neptune has an entourage of 14 known satellites, but one of them steals the show. We turn our gaze away from the blue giant and toward a pale, scarred world. This is Triton, Neptune's largest moon. Triton is a rebel. It is the only large moon in the solar system that orbits its planet backwards, in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation. This strange behavior tells a dramatic, violent story of its origin. Let's clear up a misconception. Triton was not born alongside Neptune. It is a prisoner of war. Billions of years ago, Triton was a free-roaming dwarf planet in the Kuiper belt, much like Pluto, but it ventured too close to the blue giant. Neptune's terrifying gravity grabbed it, slowed it down, and locked it into a permanent orbit. Picture a tiny, icy wanderer being suddenly caught in a massive, inescapable net, forever bound to a new master. As we glide over Triton's surface, we see a terrain unlike any other. It is famously called the Cantaloupe terrain because of its wrinkled, dimpled appearance. It is a frozen wasteland of water and nitrogen ice. The temperature here is even colder than Neptune itself, sitting at nearly 400 degrees below zero. Yet, this frozen, dead-looking world is incredibly active. It is one of the few places in our solar system where we can witness cryovolcanism. Suddenly, a dark plume erupts from the icy surface. It is an ice volcano. Instead of molten lava, it shoots a geyser of nitrogen gas and dark dust miles into the thin atmosphere. Imagine a majestic, black fountain erupting against the backdrop of deep space, the particles gently falling back down like dark snow. This proves that even in the most freezing, desolate corners of the universe, there is energy, movement, and lifelike activity. But Triton's rebellious orbit comes with a fatal price. Because it orbits backwards, Neptune's gravity is slowly, relentlessly pulling it closer. Millions of years from now, Triton will cross the Roche limit. The gravitational forces will become too strong for the moon to hold itself together. Picture a grand, terrifying finale where the entire moon is torn to shreds, creating a magnificent ring system that might one day rival Saturn's. Before we leave the Neptune system, we must acknowledge the smaller, unsung heroes orbiting the giant. We fly past tiny moons like Naiad, Thalassa, and Despina. These are heavily cratered rocks, tumbling chaotically in the dark. They are the shepherds of the rings, their tiny gravities pushing and pulling the dark dust into the delicate arcs we saw earlier. They are the silent workers, keeping the intricate clockwork of the system running. Then there is Proteus, the second largest moon. It is a fascinatingly ugly world. It is incredibly dark, reflecting almost no light, and perfectly irregular. It is shaped somewhat like a battered, lumpy cube. Proteus sits right on the edge of the mass required to pull itself into a sphere. Imagine a lump of clay that someone started to roll into a ball, but gave up halfway. It stands as a monument to the raw, unpolished nature of the cosmos. Everything we know in vivid detail about this terrifying giant comes from a brief, fleeting encounter. In 1989, the Voyager 2 spacecraft shot past Neptune at incredible speed. It was a brief hello and a long goodbye. Imagine a tiny, fragile metal box traveling for 12 years through the absolute dark, just to spend a few hours taking pictures of the blue giant before sailing out into the endless void of interstellar space. Since that day, Neptune has remained incredibly isolated. It takes light from the sun over 4 hours to reach this cold frontier. Up here, the sun is no longer a large, warm disk in the sky. It is just a very bright star, offering barely any heat. Think of the isolation, a massive, roaring world, spinning in near total darkness, largely forgotten by the warm inner planets. It is a sobering, humbling thought that puts our small earthly problems into perspective. Despite this isolation, Neptune experiences seasons, just like Earth. But because its year is so incredibly long, a single season on Neptune lasts for 40 Earth years. Imagine a winter that outlasts an entire human generation. We can watch from afar as massive cloud bands slowly shift and evolve over decades. A slow-motion dance of gas and ice that plays out on a timescale that makes human life seem like a fleeting spark. Neptune is not just the end of the planets, it is the gateway to the deep unknown. Its massive gravity shapes the Kuiper Belt, the vast ring of icy debris that surrounds our solar system. Without Neptune acting as a cosmic shepherd, throwing comets outward and pulling others in, our solar system would look vastly different. It is the silent guardian of the border, the terrifying giant that stands watch over the cosmic frontier. As we prepare to end our journey, listen to the silent hum of the cosmos. Scientists have converted Neptune's electromagnetic emissions into sound waves. It is an eerie, sweeping whistle, like a cold wind howling through an empty metallic canyon. Let that sound wash over you. It is the voice of the most terrifying giant in our solar system. But now, it no longer sounds scary. It sounds like a lullaby from the deep. As we slowly drift away, the massive blue pearl shrinks back down to a tiny pale dot, eventually swallowed by the infinite black canvas of space. We have journeyed to the edge of the solar system, braved supersonic winds, witnessed diamond rain, and danced with a doomed moon. We learned that the universe is not just empty and frightening. It is filled with chaotic beauty and mesmerizing mysteries. When you look up at the night sky, remember that there is always something extraordinary happening in the dark. Thank you for joining me on this journey of the mind. I hope this voyage has brought you a sense of cosmic peace and a break from earthly worries. If you enjoyed this flight to Neptune, please subscribe, like, and share the video with fellow dreamers. What corner of the universe should we explore next to find our peace? Let me know in the comments.